Hi everyone, this is Aaron for Zollotech, and today we're going to be comparing the HTC HD7 to the Samsung Focus. Now the reason I chose these two is, well, I have them, and the other reason is I believe the Focus is the best on AT&T, in my opinion, and the HD7 is the only offering on T-Mobile. And from what I can tell, as far as reviews go and eBay prices are concerned, these are the two most desirable devices. So let's first start with the display. Both of them have nice displays, but the Focus has a Super AMOLED display that is just really, really bright, and I'll show you that in a moment. The HD7 has a slightly larger display, so we have a 4-inch display here, a 4.3-inch display here, but same resolution, 800 by 480. The HD7 has an overall better feel to it as far as build quality is concerned. This Focus on my right here feels very plasticky and has a very bright or shiny plastic back, while this has a textured rubber plastic back that just gives it an overall better feel in the hand and makes it less slippery. You also have 5 megapixel cameras on both. On the HD7 we have dual LED flash and a single LED flash on the Focus. Now as far as the picture quality goes, they're comparable. There are lots of comparisons online, otherwise I would just do a simple one right here. But the camera overall, from what I can tell, looks a little bit better on the Focus. It just has a little bit more brightness to it. The colors may be a little bit more true on the HD7, but you don't get a consistent picture with the HD7. Sometimes it'll look perfect, other times it won't in the same lighting conditions. It's very strange, and I'm not really sure what the phone is doing, and it may be a software bug that needs to be updated via Microsoft or something. But as for right now, as far as the camera goes, the Focus seems to have a slightly better camera. I don't think you'd be disappointed though with this if you don't have a 5 megapixel phone camera. So on the side we have our typical Windows Phone 7 buttons. We have our camera buttons. Now we have a volume rocker on the HD7 on this side and a sleep wake button on this side. If we flip them to the other side, we have nothing on the HD7 and our volume rocker on the Focus. On the top, on the HD7 we have our sleep wake and power on. On the Focus we have a 3.5mm headphone jack and our micro USB connection. On the bottoms we have a 3.5mm headphone jack in the HD7 and our micro USB and speaker, and we have just our speaker on the bottom here. Let me go ahead and pull the backs off so you can see inside, just for any that might be curious about where the SIM card is and that sort of thing. I'm always curious when I'm looking at videos online, so I figured you guys might appreciate that. Let's go ahead and pop the backs off. So on the back here you can see the Focus has a much larger battery, and actually capacity-wise it is bigger. This is a 1230 milliamp hour battery. Pretty small for a device that's supposed to last all day, and it doesn't last all day. You're going to have to charge this if you with regular use, texting, occasionally browsing the web, maybe a couple calls, maybe a game. You're going to have to charge this mid-afternoon. At least I found I did. The Focus seems to last all day with its 1500 milliamp hour battery. It just seems to have a much longer battery life because the battery actually is bigger. So I can go as long as an iPhone 4 with the Focus, I've found. If not, maybe longer depending on use. But same use, I get a much better battery life on the Focus. Here's your SIM card on the Focus. Your SIM card for the HTC is right there. It slides down. Take the battery out, slides down there. You have a 16 gigabyte micro SD card right here, and it is removable. Microsoft recommends you don't remove it because each micro SD card is a little bit different as far as speed is concerned. Even though it has a rating, they've found that it needs to be a really good card that was just manufactured well. So if you want to put a 32 gig card in it, you could, but you have to reformat the whole device in order to use the card. It's not removable storage. It actually uses that card for the operating system and how it interacts with it. So keep that in mind. You could do it though if you really wanted to. The HD7 does not have that slot. It's actually buried under all of this. If you were to take it off, it'd be under there. And has 16 gigs of storage as well. So let's go ahead and put this back back on, and we'll take a look at the display themselves. Now the operating system is identical, so we're not really going to go into that. But I do want to show you the differences in screens, and we'll talk a little bit about the external speakers on these as well. Let me show you the location first. The speaker on the Focus is right here. We have a little speaker here on the HD7, and what it's supposed to do is when you're watching it like this, it's supposed to kind of resonate through these two slots. Even though this is for your ear and microphone, it's supposed to resonate through here and create kind of a stereo effect. Doesn't do that so well. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Now let me show you the difference in displays. And in fact, let me see if I can change the wallpaper to make them identical so you can kind of get a better feel of colors. And we go into settings here. We go to wallpaper. And I don't know that I have the same ones. These are stock wallpapers, actually, right here. Stock wallpapers. So let's see if we have the same one. It looks like we might. Those are some I downloaded. Well, you know what I could do is actually, I know that I have this one. Let's see if we can go here and do the same on this phone. I really want to show you an honest comparison of the screens because it is so much different. And I also have, actually the flower would probably be better. We'll go back. There's the flower. Check, check. Okay. Now these are on full brightness, both of these phones, and set to automatic right now. But it is as bright as they go automatically. You could make them a little bit brighter. Here's the screens. Now, I haven't seen a good comparison online, and I think you can see that in these screens. You can see how dim the HD7 is compared to the Super AMOLED screen. It really is dramatically different. So, the screens are responsive equally, but they're really not brightness-wise. The Super AMOLED screen is just so vibrant. I've actually turned it to low because it's just too bright for my eyes. If we go here, we hit home. Now, both of these phones have home search back. That's typical for Windows Phone 7, but they're equally responsive. The viewing angle on the Focus is great, and I think that's the main reason you would want to get the Focus, is the fantastic viewing angle and better battery life. But overall, the build quality, just this phone feels solid. I mean, it's solid. I guess it's as solid as an iPhone, I would say. Just different than an iPhone. It's heavy, it's solid. This feels very light. It almost feels like a toy phone. Like a dummy phone. It's really that light. It's not bad, but I'm just wondering over time how they'll handle abuse and regular use and stuff. I don't know scratch resistance wise. I guess they both use a version or their own version of Gorilla Glass. But overall, I think that's a pretty quick comparison to give you an idea difference wise between the screens. At an angle, you can definitely see the difference. Straight on, it's a little bit harder, but the Focus is just way bright. And very vibrant. So if you have any other questions you want to see, I'm actually getting rid of the HD7 here pretty quickly. Feel free to ask before I get rid of it, because I may be getting rid of it soon. I've got to get another phone. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks to anyone who subscribed and commented. I appreciate that. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time. Oh, you stayed around. I actually forgot something to mention. I forgot to mention the speaker quality. So those of you that listen to music, let's talk about the audio jacks on these phones. The quality of the Focus seems to be a little bit better. The overall audio quality seems to be better in the Focus. I thought the HD7 was good. The Focus is even better in my testing. That's from the headphone jack. As far as the external speaker, the Focus seems to be a little bit louder. The speaker seems to be a little lacking on the HD7, which surprised me because they did such a good job on the surround. Just the HD7 speaker doesn't match up. So as far as the external speaker, if you listen to a lot of music externally, you're going to want to stick with the Focus, especially if you're on AT&T and you don't want an iPhone. If you want a great phone on T-Mobile, though, this is a great phone if you check out Windows Phone 7. Other than that, though, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.